What's up, party rental people? Welcome to the Bounce House Bosses podcast, where real party rental business owners share their stories, struggles, and secrets to success. I'm your host, Tariq Al-Khatib with the Vet Hawk, and here's a quick preview of today's episode.
We haven't been in the game that long, but we've already hit that six-figure mark.
Sometimes it's better for you too to be flexible.
But it's like, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
And we're live. Welcome everybody. My name's Tariq here, founder of Event Hawk, and I have the wonderful Kelcie Baye with me. When we're gonna kind of talk to her a little bit about her party rental business. And let's start with the first question, Kelcie. Who the heck are you, and why should anybody in the party rental industry care?
You know what? Now I gotta take the glasses off. So I am Kelcie Baye, and I am the co-owner of Bouncin Baye Inflatables. My husband and I, we founded this business together. We are here in Durham, North Carolina. And yeah, we have a party rental business. It's, really taken off with the help of Event Hawk. I do feel like for us to have been in the game not that long, we will turn 3 in May. Yeah, we haven't been in the game that long, but we've already hit that six-figure mark. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We also I think we do an excellent job with just like customer retention. So I think that deserves some kind of merit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we choose people to interview who are doing very well, in kind of like you said, a short amount of time, doing some different things. So you definitely came up, and I think by the end of this interview here, everybody will know why. But let's give me an idea of the size of your business. So you're in about how many inflatables do you have?
So we're going into this season. We now have 22 inflatables. Last season, when we started around this time, we had about 9. So
Okay. Ooh.
yeah, it's
And are
been
you
pretty cool.
operating out of your home or storage?
So we were operating out of storage units. That first year, we only had one inflatable, which is crazy, right?
Wow. You actually started
Um,
with one. That's great.
yes, and then we went into the next season and we were like, okay, we have 6 now, and we just assumed that they would live in this enclosed trailer. Quickly, found out that that was not going to be ideal, so we did move to like some storage units right down the street from our home. As of April 1st, we actually just moved into a small warehouse. So,
Congratulations. That's
thank you.
huge.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to clearing out my dining room. No
Oh,
more bounce
wow.
house stuff. Yeah.
Oh, in your dining room. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's
The
the
whole house.
concessions.
Because, oh, God bless you. I stopped doing those, man. I can't. I'm not gonna go down that rant, but oh my God, too much
Nice little
headache.
add-on.
What got you into the industry though? What you know when you were 5, did you say when I grow up I want to own a bounce house business? How'd that
Absolutely not. So, funny
happen?
story. When I went to college, I was a human bio major. I've always been nerdy. I've always loved school. Um, Quickly into undergrad, I realized like I don't actually like science. It's just sometimes when you're smart and black, they're like, "Hey, we need more doctors and lawyers." That does not need to be me though.
Okay. I love the directness.
So yeah, it was like we quickly did this segue into I actually, when I was in undergrad, I needed a job that was like making better money. And I found this job working with individuals with disabilities out in the community. Just like helping them learn how to do things at home, going out into the community and learning social skills, things like that.
What?
I
That's so
loved it.
cool.
So yeah, that made me want to pursue special education. And so yeah, I was actually a teacher. I started out as a TA or a paraprofessional, they call it in some places, teacher assistant. I was a teacher. I even made it to the district level. I was the adapted curriculum specialist for my district. And then I was preparing for summer at home with my kids. And both my babies, they're born 5 days apart in August, really like 2 years
Oh,
apart, but
okay.
they're both August babies. And as an educator, you tend to have a portion of summer off, right? So I'm like talking to my husband. I'm like, hey, our babies, they're young. I know we're probably going to be doing this bounce house thing. Let's just go, like I want to buy a bounce house. That way we have something to do during the summer.
Hold on, you're saying you're gonna rent a bounce house for your babies?
Well, my plan, I was just going to go to like Costco and get
And
one of those residential bounce houses.
for yourself, not to rent it.
Yes,
Okay.
just for us.
Because you got two kids, you don't want to rent two bounce houses, so you're just gonna buy your own. Okay.
Exactly, because I'm thinking like, they're both born in August, so we'll probably be doing the birthday party thing a lot. And at this point, I never, rented a bounce house. I didn't really know the difference between residential and commercial or anything. So, yeah, I'm talking to my husband about it, and so he's like, "Well, don't get like one of those Costco ones that lasts for a year and then it's no good. Get something that's good, especially if we'll be doing this like every year for their birthday party." So that leads me down this Google, YouTube rabbit hole.
Wow, that's smart. So he was the one that kind of told you let's go with commercial.
Yeah, yeah. And even then, he didn't even say commercial. It just was like, let's get a decent one. Let's get a really good quality one. He loves good quality. That's both.
Got it, got it. That's him. Got it. Now, did do you have any regrets with how you started? Did you make any mistakes when you first started out?
So the good thing is I found a whole bunch of videos online. And so everybody was like, get a bounce house combo, get a get that bounce house slide combo. So that's exactly what we got, especially
Okay,
because
good.
August, when it's their birthday, it's very hot. So it was like, oh, if we can use this with water, that's great. So because of the knowledge, because of the people like you and everybody else online, we were able to avoid making. I feel like if it wasn't for the videos, we would have went with a regular bounce house.
Regular bounce house, gotcha. Yeah, that's a big mistake that a lot of us make. I got a bunch of those in my warehouse that just don't go out. It's for sale. If you want to buy some, let me know.
How much is the
Whoa,
shipping from Chicago?
right? Oh, you could come get it. You're welcome. We'll have dinner and you could go home with a bounce house. Um, when did you, at what point did you, so you're about to start your third year, right? You got
Yep.
20 inflatables. At what point did you get a website, marketing, all that good stuff?
So, oh gosh, that first website, I don't even want anybody to find that.
Uh, okay. Did you make it
I
yourself?
went, yep, I went on WordPress and I made it myself, and it was trash.
That's bold though. That's really cool. Do you have experience doing something like that before? Or you just went for it?
I had no experience. My best friend, she is like a tech guru, but I'm like, I don't want to, like I want to figure it out. I want to figure this thing out. So I put together this bare bones website. And remember, at this time, we only have this one bounce house slide combo. So I felt like it was a little risky just saying like, hey, we got this one bounce house that you can rent for like dirt cheap. So I also added like a little family picture on there because I'm like, I need these people to know we're real people. She's a teacher. And it was a terrible website, but that bounce house stayed booked out.
How did you market it? Did you do like the Facebook thing or
So the nice thing, me being I'm from Durham, like born and raised from Durham. So just posting it on social media, that got us a lot of traction. That first year, we had a lot of friends and family who rented from us. But that website somehow, like through the interwebs, people were finding
people were
us who
finding
did
it?
not know us too. So it
Why?
was pretty
Because it
cool.
was getting traffic. That is really cool. That is really cool. So, why did you decide to sign up with Event Hawk if that was going well? Why did you decide to go with professional marketing? Or I guess what made you kind of do the shift from, hey, I got to stop doing everything myself and I got to do the legit marketing, get a legit website outside of you not liking how the website looked?
It was the WTF webinars.
Ooh, okay, okay, okay. All right, I love it. So you watched one of the YouTube videos?
No, it was when you were doing the live webinars, and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes sense because without a funnel, how am I going to track these people who have been on the website? Just made sense.
So at that point, we're like, man, I thought my website was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And Tariq just broke my dreams. Now I'm gonna
No,
start
I
over.
knew the website was trash.
Okay, okay, okay.
But I also I'll say the other thing I did not realize that websites were so inexpensive,
Mm.
to have it managed through Inflatable Office. I assumed that that was going to be a much huger expense than it actually was.
So that's why you kind of went on your own first. So let's talk about that. I mean, what advice would you have to somebody who, or was that a concern for you when you're like, dang, I'm just starting out, I got to pay somebody to do my marketing and a website versus, because I think a lot of times it's a mindset thing. Some people will go literally for years doing it just to not pay anybody because they're like, that's going to cost me money. But really, as soon as you have it done right, that's going to make you way more money than it costs you. So did you kind of have that fear?
So it was like, the first year, again, we only had one bounce house. So it was really easy with like this little paper calendar. I could just write it on there. But that second season, when we bought five from Jump Orange. And I just knew that I wanted to avoid the possibility of double booking.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I knew we were going to need some type of scheduling system. So it was something where I was like preparing myself for it. I'm like, hey, we're going to need this website. I need to make sure we got this money put to the side. And then when it was time, it was like, oh, that's it.
Okay, good, good, good. Glad to hear it. Well, it sounds like, you also, you must be a big, do you consider yourself a big spender? Is Mo the one that's like, let's consider this. Let's think about it.
It depends on our mood. We're definitely yin and yang. So he's like really good at reeling me in when I'm getting a little too spendy.
Okay.
And then yeah, same for him. We work together well.
Yeah, I remember we met at IAP, and he's more my speed. He's chill, he's quiet. Him and I had a private conversation. That's more my type. You were out there, and I'm like, you were socializing. I'm like, let me chill here with Mo and talk about some stuff. So
But
let's
that's the other thing. I feel like I am usually more introverted, but
really.
I know Ziana. I know Brandon. We've been talking for a long
Yeah.
time.
IAP
But
was
it's
a
just
good
nice to
time.
see everybody.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
It's like Christmas. Like, yeah, I get to finally see all my friends. It's like Facebook
exactly.
in real life without the drama. Hopefully without the
There you
drama.
go.
Let's talk about your family though. What's your family's involvement been in the business? I know it's usually one of two camps. Either family's like, man, you're doing too much, you need to slow down, or family's all in, everybody's getting in the pickup truck, delivering bounce houses with the baby sleeping in the back. Where are you guys at?
With the baby sleeping in the back. So, okay, remember when we started with the one bounce house? At this time, we didn't even have a trailer situation. We had Mo's Forerunner. So
Okay.
we would like stuff the dolly, the bounce house, everything in the back of this Forerunner, and our two kids. There
Wow.
was enough space for the two kids too. Then when we got bigger, so that second year when we had the six inflatables and it started to be more of an all day thing, that's when our kids were like, "Oh yeah, no, can you take us to Gigi's?"
Okay.
So so yeah, when it's gonna be, just like a long day, which is like all the time now, they prefer to go hang out with my mom, and she's like 10 minutes away, so that's really nice. If we have a situation where it's like, hey, we just have like two pickups left, then we'll go ahead and pick up the kids and they'll roll with us. And I will say, my kids, they love pickups because the party's over. So everybody's like, hey, we got these leftover goodie bags. We got these
Ah,
cupcakes. You want some? Yes.
love it. You ever feel like weird bringing your kids to work? You have anybody ever give you a hard time?
No, and that's one of the things that I really appreciate about this industry. We're serving kids. So most of the time, especially like remember, it's North Carolina. So, there's that southern friendliness. Everybody's
Right.
like, "Oh yeah, bring the babies back." Sometimes people will have like that whole swing set situation in their backyard. And
Uh-huh.
so for me, I'm always like, you know, I don't want the kids to play on them without permission.
That asking,
So
yeah.
usually if I'm like, "Hey, did you ask?" And then, that mom or that dad is like, "Oh yeah, go for it." So, yeah.
Yeah, my wife would get super embarrassed whenever we brought up. She's like, "Oh no, they touched the people's stuff," and I'm like, "I get it." Like she'd be like, "So like, we're never bringing them anywhere again." I'm like, they're kids, but yeah, you can't, you got to ask permission. And some people are weird, and also you don't want the liability of your kids getting hurt in their yard. So, or some random person's kid, like, I don't know those kids, where they come from, jumping on my swing set or my trampoline. So that's cool that,
What you
and then, so right now it's you and your husband, you guys do all the deliveries and pickups?
So now we have my cousin Bryce. He helps us out on the weekends, like every weekend.
Okay.
And we also have Julian, I used to work with his mom. I met Julian when he was 6 years old, and now he is, I think he just turned 16. And so he helps us like clean the bounce houses and the tarps and stuff. He was texting me yesterday, like, hey, when am I coming back?
That's so cool. Look at you building a little empire. I love it.
Yeah, so that's really neat. And the other thing I'll say about the kids are the closers. So whenever my kids come, that's when folks are like guaranteed to give that review
Okay.
or to give that tip.
Tip. That's what I was thinking. Tip. Love it. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
your
they're the
kids,
closers.
they know their role well. You let them keep some of the tip,
Mm,
or they don't really see
when
much
they
value in
come,
money.
when they
Yeah.
come and when they help, they do get paid. I am not like some families do like the allowance for kids when they
Mm,
like clean their room and stuff like that.
you don't do that.
Nah, like that's the stuff you're
That's
supposed
your
to be doing
job,
anyway. Yeah, yeah. That like nobody pays me for cleaning this house.
right?
But,
Okay.
when they come along and they actually help us, yeah, they get paid.
Okay. Now, what's been like the most challenging part for you? Was there ever a time when you were like, man, like you almost wanted to quit and it was just like, I don't know if this is for me? You ever go through something like that?
I feel like with entrepreneurship, you definitely have those highs and lows. And so I definitely have days where, especially when it's the beginning of the weekend and like your friends or your family, they're about to have this big cookout, or something like that, and you're gonna miss it.
Oh, yes.
Those
Yes.
are the days when you're like, oh gosh, I gotta figure out, we just gotta figure out, a better solution to that. And I think that'll come with time. I think we're almost there. But I think that's been the hardest part. Like, just wanting to attend those friend or family things and
Okay.
show up for the people that you love, but also at the same time being able to uphold the standard of business.
Business. Okay, gotcha. Are you doing day before delivery yet?
Yeah, so I will say, like, the longer I do this, the more flexible my mind
Yeah.
gets. And I didn't even think about like day before deliveries until we just had a weekend where we had so many bookings that it was like, oh gosh, we have to.
Have to, yeah.
Yeah, and so now, yeah, that's actually been really helpful the day before deliveries, as well as granting those free overnights from time to time.
Yes. I love what you said. The longer I'm in this, the more flexible I become because you're absolutely right. I love seeing I try to be nice on Facebook. I'm super nice. I hold back a lot, but when I see the new people, they come in so gung ho, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And people are like, just you wait. Just you wait. You're gonna so it's you do become more flexible because you realize that sometimes it's better for you too to be flexible. And this is a family, it's a family oriented business. And
Yeah,
just because a customer is getting what they want doesn't mean you're not gonna get what you want. Sometimes it's
exactly.
just making the customer feel like, you carry the little things. We're not
Yeah,
corporations.
exactly. Exactly.
So what about your proudest moment? What was that aha moment when you were just like super proud, like, this is actually working?
Oh my gosh. So, okay, one of my proudest moments, still to this day, there is nothing like getting those 3 to 4 emails in a row from Inflatable Office. The one that's like
Booking confirmed.
the person put in for the Event Hawk funnel. They filled that out. Now they just put in a quote. Now they've signed the contract
Yes.
and made the deposit.
Back to back to back to back to back.
Boom,
Yes.
boom, 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 boom. And sometimes I'm like, when it's like a minute in between, I'm like, oh, they were really hot.
I love it. Do you ever stop if they like stop in between? Do you ever pick up the phone and call them?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And Event Hawk makes that easy too, because we get those text messages. It's like, hey, Rachel just opened her quote. Go ahead and call her to lock in that
Oh, okay.
amount. So yeah, that is
I
very
love that.
helpful. I try to give it like a little bit of wait time. And if I don't see any action, it's like, hey, Rachel, how you doing?
You are the first person to mention that text to me. I built that text. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, you actually get a text that says, Rachel opened up her $900 quote. Go ahead and call her now. Or Rachel opened up her $75 quote. Go ahead and call her now. So that you can decide, should I stop what I'm doing and call her or not? And nobody talks about it. Like we call everybody. We're bigger. But I'm like, the reason I did that is for the smaller people who are doing a bunch of different things. Again, like
Yeah,
at my size company, every single quote gets called. But when you're doing other things, you really want to know, who should I pull over and call, or just let them get when they get there. So I'm so glad to hear you say that. Would you say so? You watch those pretty closely then, huh?
oh yeah, absolutely.
What's going on with that $2,000 order? Are you serious? Or are you just shopping?
And I'm
I
like,
love it.
even if I don't call you, I'm going to slide you a text.
Yeah. Jump in and take over the automation. There you go. What would you say is your I guess what's your secret sauce when it comes to the rapid growth that you've seen? What would you give? Don't give away all the secrets, but
You want me to give it the
right?
secret? No, I'm just kidding. Um, I'll say I'll tell you what resonates the most with our customers. And I know this through just talking to them and their reviews. They talk about our communication. And so I like to give a window of delivery. So yeah, Thursdays I finalize the route and communicate delivery window times. And it's like a 1 hour window. But right when we're headed over, I send that exact ETA. As soon as we type their address in and press go, I go ahead and send them that information as well. And then after we drop off, we're not even like super specific about when exactly what time we'll come back. But again, I do text and just let them know, hey, we're on the way. Our ETA is this. So they really love that communication. And then we're really nice. And it's like a genuine niceness too, not for sales or anything like that.
Love that. Yes, you'd be surprised how far communication will go. Just even if it's good news, bad news, no news, people just want to know what's going on, especially on a day that you're planning a party, you spent all this money, you're stressed out. It's nice to know you don't have to worry about that. So you do it that through text, you just shoot them a text, hey, I'm on my way,
Yep.
etc.
Yep. Shoot them a text. And then you're right. They do just want some sort of communication. So we try to drop off early as much as possible. And even with dropping off early. So let's say the party doesn't start till 1, but I've communicated, hey, we're coming between 8 and 9 to set up. If for whatever reason we're running late within that window, maybe we're not going to get there till 9:32. I say, hey, we had a slight delay at the first stop. Just know we're on the way. Your stop is the next one after this. And I think that just helps the anxiety level stay low.
Yes, absolutely. And it's we forget. I think we forget in anything that you do when you're on the other side of that. I remember when I worked at the hospital, I worked in the ER overnight, and people will complain all the time, like, man, these people are being so extra, and it was tough. Like when the patients' families are, how long till I get the results? What? It's like, dude, it's 3 a.m., man. I haven't slept. I'm here. My family's, it does get frustrating. But I've always tried to remember that, this is their worst day. This is the worst day of their life. Could be the worst day of their life. Um, and even then, one time I was actually at work and my mother came in with she had a stroke and she came in through the ER. And I was asking all the same dumb questions everybody else asked. And
Even though you
I
knew the
calmed down,
answers.
even though I knew the answers. Yeah. So and I always tried to have that empathy before that. But even then I found myself like, oh my God, here I am, freaking out like everybody else. So I think big difference with what we're doing here in party rentals, but same thing when you're planning that party, even though you know the answers, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Put yourself in that. You got the food, you got the kids, you got the people, you got this, you got that. So just they're dealing with like 5 different vendors or whatever. You want to be that number one. I love that. You want to be the one that's like, hey, I want to be the one that doesn't stress you out. I want to be the one that you don't worry about. And I think when you mention it like that, that's huge. Even big time. Just help, like you said, that anxiety word is a big thing.
Yeah, especially I feel like this business has a bad rep. Like,
Hmm.
I can't tell you how many people I talk to, and they're like, "Yeah, I reached out to someone on Facebook, and I got scammed. They asked me for that $50 deposit. They talked to me like they were coming, and they never came."
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does make it easy to stand out though. I remember me and my wife said that. We're like, how are we getting all these 5-star reviews? We're just being ourselves. But you're right. There's so many people in this industry who don't provide good service that when you provide just a little bit, it does set you apart.
Yeah.
So, uh, what about, so you talked about service. What about for marketing, I guess? What advice would you have to, or what would you credit the marketing? So I know Event Hawk is doing some of your marketing. Can you be a little more specific as to what we're doing for you, what's working, what's not, what's,
Oh my gosh. So I feel like y'all are doing so many things for me now. I'll say so you started our Google ads first. And so that was the thing that like made us really start popping off a lot quicker. We were getting a lot more traffic coming to the website. We were also getting folks to fill out that coupon code, which was great because that captures their email and their phone number so we can reach back out if that doesn't result in a booking. If I don't get those 4 emails, I gotta call them.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's where it started. That also helped us to see our conversion rate. How many people are coming to this website and what percentage of those people are turning into a booking? So that allowed us to see the need to customize our website a little bit to make that website experience a lot better. That's where Ziana and the website team came in. She built us a beautiful custom website. And Lionel loves that website.
That's probably why he's always talking about you. There you
Yeah,
go.
so we
So
get
so
lots
Google
of,
Ads. So you'd say Google Ads is the number one. Google Ads, a good website.
yeah,
Those would be
yeah.
your biggest things.
Uh-huh. And then we also get your service where you'll help us fix the website or tweak the website. I think that's like I don't
Extra
want to
support.
I don't know the number, but it's not that much. But I appreciate being able to slide you guys a text when I have this like random whim that I want to test out on the
That's a lot of
website.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where we lose most of the money on that service. So many people like me. That's why we did it. Where it's just like, can we try this? Like, sure.
Yeah.
Let's have snow falling all over the website. All right, let's YouTube it, Jerome. Let's see if we can do it.
We
Love it,
love
love it,
it.
love
We
it.
love it. Yeah.
Um, so you have that, you have the marketing. Um,
Oh,
what would you?
I would
Yeah,
be wrong if I did not mention Lionel's support.
Lionel support.
Yeah, it's so
So
nice.
so he's
So working,
you do the business coaching or just the
yes, business
okay.
coaching with Lionel. That right there has been so pivotal. And I think a part of it is there's so much power in having this dedicated block of time to
Mm.
really think about working on the business and not so much in the business. So
Well
being able to
said.
have that time, I mean, it's like therapy. You're sitting there, you're reflecting, so you're looking at those Google ad numbers and conversion rates and all those things, and you're saying, okay, this is what we're doing well, but this is what we need.
Pause, hold up. Hey, if you're enjoying the podcast, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, do whatever you got to do down there. And if you know somebody who you think can benefit from this, please go ahead and share this with them. It's a lot of work doing all this for free, so it would help us if you went ahead and shared it. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to work with Event Hawk to get the results like these guys were getting, or if you just want some of our freebies, go ahead and comment the word podcast or text the word podcast to 708-401-6465. Again, that's 708-401-6465. And when you comment or text the word podcast, we'll send you all of the resources from this episode and other episodes for things like the Bounce House School book, how to book a call or book a demo with Event Hawk to see if we can help you with your party rental business, how to get 0% funding so you guys can buy more inventory and have a dirty warehouse like me, and how to get just our templates and all of our freebies. So with that, thank you again for watching. Back to the show.
This is what we need to do to take it to that next step.
Writing that down. Having a block. It's so nice to have a block of time where you work on the business, not in the business. That is so basic, but so many of us don't think to do that. You get so
Call
caught
me
up.
basic, Tyreek.
It's so simple. Sorry, not basic, simple.
I'm just
But
kidding. I'm
next thing
just
you
kidding.
know, it's like, oh my God, it's off season again. What did I do?
Right.
Where'd the whole season go? I was in
Yeah.
the weeds all season. So you meet with Lionel regularly. What do you guys talk about? Honestly, I don't know what Lionel does. Half the things he does. I hired Lionel way back when, and then kind of let him go. And I really try to be the type of employer where I give my team freedom. As long as you're happy,
Yeah.
I'm like, go
Yeah.
ahead, build it out. So what do you guys talk about?
So,
What does Lionel do all day? I don't
so
even know what Lionel
appreciative.
does.
And I feel like if Lionel hears about this, he's gonna be like really shy about it. But oh my gosh. So okay. He'll definitely, we look at our Google ads and like, okay, you got this much traffic to the website, this percent of folks converted, you spent this much money, you made this many times more money from that little bit that you spent. So we definitely talk about those things, but then we talk about that's like the time where I can really like just like bust out those ideas that I have. And
Mm.
it's really cool because Lionel, he is a marketing genius, but he's also a parent. So it's really cool to be able to say, hey, I was thinking about offering packages, but I don't know. Like maybe that's just too much work. I'm overthinking it. And he's like, hey, as a consumer, we want to be able to help them see the value for what they're spending. And so then we just start strategizing all these things. And then we both walk away with, okay, these are the things we need to do before this next meeting. So,
And you feel
um,
like he's pretty organized. He gives you like homework and all that.
absolutely.
Okay,
Very
okay.
organized.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. It is huge. I used to have a business coach on the event hawk side. I still do, but I had one that always gave me like homework. The one that I got right now, he's not too happy with me because I'm still haven't entered all my KPIs and stuff. But I'm so
See,
glad to
there
hear
you
that.
go. Yeah. And
That's
it's
so
like,
great.
it's the accountability.
Accountability,
Having that
yes,
person
yes, yes.
that is going to hold you accountable, and then being able to see the result of your hard work. So when you follow through on that homework and you see those numbers go up, best feeling ever.
So what would you say, I guess, how do you know when it's time to sign up for something like Event Hawk or professional? Because there's a lot of people out there that are like, yeah, when I grow a little bit longer, like when is the right time to get a team and stop doing everything yourself on the digital side? So we know about you get the dolly, you get all that stuff, but at what point, what do you say to those people that are like, I'm not ready for marketing yet. I'm not ready for that
So
side.
I'll say when you're ready to turn it into your job and not a side hustle, when you're ready to turn it into your income and not just this little thing I do sometimes, go ahead and get Event Hawk.
Love it. Jeffrey Ring, actually, I spoke to him. He's another guy in Florida. He said, if you keep treating this, if you keep saying, I wrote it down there. If you keep treating it, if you keep saying, I'm just starting out, you'll always be just starting out. Don't say I'm just starting out. So I love that. I actually wrote it down. That was so good. So I love what you said too. So
Profound message.
did you ever have any doubts about Event Hawk? I'm sure at some point you were like, I don't know, I'm spending a lot of money for this marketing stuff. Maybe it's not working. How was that?
No, at the same time, so with my background being in special education, one of the things that's really important in our field is data. Don't
Mm,
say a kid is able to do this and not be able to tell me the metrics behind it. So that's what I've always appreciated. I could always see the ball rolling. So, at the beginning, yeah, you're definitely putting out money, but you also see that increase in just people visiting your website. And then you start to see the increase in the conversion rate. So, yeah, I think y'all do a phenomenal job of showing the proof behind this. And I'll say I feel like, if people are not getting those results and it's not trending in that positive way, did you do your homework?
wow. Okay. Okay. So I love that, and we really try to build this to do a lot for the client, um, or for the business owner. But I do find that you're absolutely right. Sometimes it's kind of on us. We do too much that, people start to think, well, I'm not getting bookings. Okay, but why? Are you answering the phone? Are you replying to quotes? You haven't responded to people from yesterday? Like, seriously, bro? Like,
Is your website trash?
is your website trash? How long would you say, like, to give it? Like, how long did it take? How long have you been with Event Hawk? First of all, let's start with that.
Oh my gosh. So I got with Event Hawk, that was of, May of 2023.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So going on 2 years. All right. Okay. So it might be, so we're really doing well for you. But do you remember, like, in the beginning, would you say, like, the first 30 days you were like, nothing's happening, or what's going on?
So in the very beginning, I remember there was like a little mishap. It was like I was supposed to be signed up, but somebody that's not here
Okay.
didn't follow through with that. And so yeah, like once I reached out to you guys, y'all caught wind, like, oh, um, they actually didn't follow through on what they were supposed to do. And yeah, shortly after that, I started seeing stuff.
Gotcha. I do think we're all people and we're far from perfect. I tell people, listen, I'm just like you. I'm not a tech guru. This whole Event Hawk thing is new to me too. I'm just a bounce house guy that used to work at a hospital. Like, I'm learning this too. But I do think if you believe in something and if you believe in your business, it is worth following up on. Don't just anything. I'm not just saying Event Hawk. Anything you sign up for, it's yes, they should do what they're supposed to do, but you also need to follow up because this is your baby. This is your money. Don't just be like, I'm gonna see if they ever call me. I'm gonna see, like, hey, we're people too. We're doing our best. Trust me, we spend thousands of dollars a month on software and things like that. But just like any business, when we grow, things happen. And that's not to shy away from responsibility, but I do think with us having such a short season, if you feel like something, if you feel something, say something. And I always tell people, like, always reach out to us. If anything is off, just reach out and ask, because that's literally why I started Event Hawk, because I was not happy with my marketers. So I'm glad to hear you say that you reached out. Um, Otherwise, we wouldn't have been having this beautiful conversation.
You know, yeah, I'm just so thankful that I attended the webinar.
I'll start
And
with that webinar. I love it.
yes, and I actually attended a few before I even signed up. So
Yeah,
persistence is key.
persistence is key. All right, glad you're a good student. Let's ask a bit of a not really controversial question, but a pretty hot topic. What about competition? People say, look, Tariq, I got way too much competition. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like in my market. People charging this, people charging that. What do you say to those people who really feel like they'll never achieve their dreams because of their market, because there's so much competition, or they'll never sign up? I'm not going to get marketing, or I'm not going to do this because I have too much competition, or you know what I'm talking about. You see them all the time where it's like, I'm different. I'm different. I'm unique. My market's unique.
Yeah. So there's this quote, and I love it. I don't know who said it, but it's like whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
Right. Yes.
And so yeah, that quote, I live by that. There's always going to be people who want to enter this business, but they're not going to do it like you. They're not going to have the style that you have, the follow up or the care that you have. And if I can't say that for you, I can definitely say that for myself. And so I think even if it takes you, a little more time to get where you want to be, just take the time. Whether you start today or you don't, the time's gonna keep going. So I don't want to have any of those regrets. I didn't start because there was this other. Forget them.
Well, they're
Don't
doing it,
like
but
and not in a rude way.
yeah. Well, I guess, how do you stand out from your competition when somebody calls and says, "Hey, there's cheaper prices," or "Okay, let me think about it," and they don't call back?
So yeah, when I hear the cheaper price thing, sometimes, you want to know what I do, Tyreek?
We could do.
I'm like, hey, let me see the quote. Let me see their quote. And and yeah, I too like to get the most value for my money. So we have specials,
Thank
and I think
you.
yeah. I like to have specials and like make sure we're taking care of people, right?
I have to go on
Um,
this rant. It drives me crazy when the people that be posting, don't give discounts, don't give discounts. Stay firm on your price, know your value. those same people be calling me like, Tariq, can I get a discount on Event Hawk? I'm like, bro, what?
Uh-huh.
So you want to get, so you, come on, man. We're all people. Everybody wants to feel like they got a deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So thank you. Go
Yep.
continue.
Everybody
I
wants
have to
to
get
feel
that
like
rant. I have to get that rant.
exactly. And then yeah, so we offer decent specials. If there's someone who's like, "Hey, I found a better quote somewhere else," I'll say, "Hey, let me see the quote. Maybe we can price match." One time I did that, and the lady, it was the bounce house and our bounce house was definitely not of comparable quality. And so it was really cool to be able to put those pictures side by side. And she was like, "Oh, okay, I see what you're saying." And she went with us.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I take it on a case by case basis. I will point out the fact that we are fully insured, that we make sure we get there before your party starts and that they're going to be incredibly clean. So those are the things that I can do for you if you let me.
Are you making most of your sales over the phone or through text, or are people booking online while you sleep?
Oh my gosh. So let's see if I could put it in percentages. I'll say maybe about 40% of our bookings come from from the funnel. So people fill out that coupon code, that text message goes out to them 5 minutes later. Hey, this is Kelcie. Wanted to check to see if we have availability. And that sparks the conversation. I will build their reservation for them. I do not want that to hinder me from getting that booking today. So I'll take the time, I'll build that reservation, I'll text them the link. So yeah, that's about 40%. We now I'll say we probably have 30% of folks who can come on the website and just do it themselves. People love not having
Okay.
to talk to anybody. And then the other 30%, oh gosh, I forgot.
No, the number. No, your
Um,
numbers, huh?
the other 30% is probably just actual phone
Phone
calls.
calls. So it sounds like, about 70% or more are not booking online on their own. And do you see value in that? Do you feel like your business is better because of that? Because some people are all like, hey, dude, you just gotta, they'll book online. I don't want to talk to nobody. Don't talk to customers. They'll book online. Do you,
Yeah.
I know the answer, but do you feel like your business is better because you talk to your customers and is it worth it? Is it worth the time?
It's definitely worth it. And I also say, so look, you know how people are like, my market is different. Now I'm gonna tell you how our market is different. So we do have a neighbor and you can't book online. You have to call. They tell you at the top, make sure you call because it might look like it's available on the website, but it's actually not.
Mm.
So I feel like especially with them being around a lot longer than us. People who frequently rent bounce houses, they're used to that. So I have no problem talking to them and just kind of assuring them, like, hey, if you see it online and it says it's available, that's actually true.
That's actually true. There you go. I love it. I love it. So you're using that to your advantage. Yeah, I think a lot of people are scared of AI and online, and people just want to talk to other people.
Yeah.
There's no replacing that. And that's why Event Hawk came to be a big part of it was people love to text. Let's make the business textable. Let's stop saying you have to do it the way I want you. You have to go to the website, click this, click that. Bye. I'll go call somebody else, right? So the easier you make
Yep.
it for people to open their wallets, I guess they will.
Yeah. And I love being able to text them that quote link
Mhm.
because you have that Apple Pay on your phone or your card info
Yes.
is already on your phone. You don't even have to pull out your wallet. Just press the two buttons on the side of your phone.
There you go. There you go. Okay, what advice would you give to somebody just starting out in the party rental industry?
To someone who's just starting out, what I would say to you is give yourself time, give yourself grace to grow to where you want to be. I remember just 3 years ago looking at the videos online or attending the webinars and hearing people say, wow, I have 20 inflatables. And for us, we just have one. And it was
Fine.
like, wow, I hope to one day have 20 inflatables. And now that we're here, it doesn't feel like it took 3 years. It feels like it flew by. The other thing I'll say, we started out with that one bounce house combo. It was actually semi-commercial.
Mm,
And I'll tell you, if we would have started with the big stuff, we wouldn't be here today. So it was great that we started with that lighter unit. We were able to get our process down.
Okay.
It was still it's still a beautiful bounce house. It's still in our inventory, but yeah, we were just able to kind of get some skin in the game. And then that next season, when those way heavier, way higher quality things came, we were already invested. But if we would have went with those things day one, we probably would have quit.
So you're
So
saying start with something smaller later, don't go too big?
yeah, absolutely. Pay attention to those weights.
Yes, that's something I mentioned. Shameless plug in the book. That's like the main thing that I look at when I buy something. What's the weight? What's the weight? That's huge.
Yep.
And by the way, are
Look,
you?
you gotta get an electric dolly, Tyreek.
Oh, don't start that. I already put in the book that no, maybe we will. You know, that's we actually had one in our warehouse during the conference that we had. Um,
Nice.
the one trip dolly it was right there, and he's like, this is staying here, Tariq, you're buying one." I was like, somebody else bought it, fortunately, from my warehouse, so I didn't have to keep it. We're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. We got to get our, like you said, our process is
Trying to tell you, it's a game
crazy.
changer.
Yeah, I'll bet. Um, so let me ask you this. So you talked about the give yourself grace and kind of start small. What about goals? Like, do you feel like it's important to know your goals? Like, what was your goal in starting this? Did you just start it because you wanted some extra money, or do you have a bigger goal than that?
So, um, oh man, I feel like that is such a loaded question. So, at the time when I started this, again, I was a public education employee. Yeah, I had two, my kids were 1 and 3 at that time, ages 1 and age 3. Um, and as a public school employee, especially working at the district level, a lot of times when you get invited to that meeting with the family, it's because things have been going terribly wrong.
Mm,
So when we first had that one bounce house, it was such a breath of fresh air to show up to a child's house. And everybody's so excited for you to get there. You get back at the end of the party, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Thank you so much. So that was a breath of fresh air. That helped us see, like, hey, we might be able to really, make something out of this side hustle thing. Um, and yeah, we love the joy that it brings to people. I'll say the goal for our family is to have that time flexibility. So whatever this turns into, it's just going to be a beautiful experiment. We'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, I absolutely love that we make people happy, you know, or we contribute to people's happiness. Um, and yeah, the main goal for us is just that family time flexibility. We haven't gotten there yet. I'm also an educational consultant, so I do that on a contract um, system. My husband, he works for Pokemon and he works at night. Yeah, so
what?
we're like, doing all these things, and it was
Hold on.
because
You
we
said he
wanted
works for
to.
Pokemon?
Yeah, he works for Pokemon.
Doing what? I love Pokemon. See my master
Oh
ball
God.
right there.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it back there. I peeped that
How did I
along
not?
with
Wait. What
who's
does he
that?
do?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
That's Goku, but okay, whatever.
Goku. Okay, Dragon Ball Z, right?
Dragon Ball Z. There you go. What is your husband works at Pokemon? That's crazy.
He works for Pokemon and he knows nothing about Pokemon. So
What?
yeah, sometimes they'll print something and someone in there is like, "Oh my gosh, that's a." I was like, "Okay,
What
like
does he
just,
do?
yeah, I mean they print this he manages the whole night shift situation. So like printing the cards, they print
Print Pokemon cards.
yeah,
I didn't know they do
yeah.
that in North Carolina. That's crazy.
Yeah, nobody's allowed to have phones with cameras. It's like a
What?
real tight situation. No jackets with pockets,
Oh
all
my
that kind of
God.
stuff.
That's so great. Now, oh my God, he didn't mention any of that. Wow. He must not really know what I'm into. Him and I are gonna have a talk at IAPA. Wow. I have so
Look,
many
and
questions.
sometimes they give them like special gifts. So now I know where to send those.
Yes, yes. Oh man, we're huge Pokemon fans here. Very cool. So when you say the family freedom, are you referring to like quitting your job and doing this full time?
Yeah, quitting, being able to do this full time. My son, he had a field trip to the museum today, and it was really cool to be able to go. Now, was I having to like respond to people who were filling out the funnel? Yeah, here and there. But with my previous job, being able to just, go to the museum during the day, would have been a lot harder to do.
So
So
you
we're
so you
getting
did
there.
you did quit completely or
Oh yeah,
oh
absolutely. So
okay.
yeah, I walked away from the public school system in June of 2023.
After you started the business, but you had just started out.
We started in May 2022, and
Oh, okay, it was a
yeah, I
year.
got to be completely honest there too. So it was like the bounce house stuff that was starting to take off. I also had the opportunity to be an educational consultant. So the curriculum I used in my classroom, um, yeah, that's the other piece. So I go and give trainings either online or in person to other teachers and administrators on how to use that program to support their students.
Okay. So when you quit and you did you kind of left and you weren't really making the money that you needed to, but you sounds like you kind of what so I guess
So
all right.
so no, no. So I was. So as an educational consultant,
No, no,
it's
and your bounce house business, like was your bounce house
oh,
business be able to replace that? No, because you had one, yeah, you're just okay, you were 1 year in. So, but you
yeah.
still left your job. And how did that you and your you like you guys were good? Did you do that because you were like, I hate my job, or you were like, there's so much potential. If I give this my full-time attention, this could turn into something better.
What's crazy? So I've never been like a hate your job kind of person. I love like what? I am so committed to the work.
Yeah, okay.
At the same time, it was like again, like with this bounce house business picking up, I can't have a guilty conscience. And so there would be people reaching out to Bouncin Baye, but it was during the time when I was at work for the public school system. And so I felt like I was like borrowing time, you know? So yeah, once I found that educational consultant opportunity, it was like I still get to pour into special education and my love for that, but I get to do it I'm not devoted to them 40 hours a week. I literally say yes or no when they ask me, can I do a training? And then the rest of my time is mine to spend with my family
Got it.
and building Bouncing Bay.
There you go. Oh, I love that so much. This has been so cool. Love it. That's really great. And I love what you said uh about borrowing the time. I remember feeling like that too with, I'd be at the hospital, like looking at my event hawk, like do I respond or do I go to the bathroom to send a quick text? So yeah,
Right.
it gets
Especially when it's like, oh gosh, they're going to call me and now I'm hiding in the bathroom and I got to pick up the phone. Oh,
yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah. The guilty conscience does come in. Wow, I love it. Well, Kelsey, this has been so cool. I think we covered a lot. You're a great listener. You let me talk a lot too, which is usually I'm like, oh, there's so much I want to say. So, is there anything else you wanna share or that we missed?
Oh my gosh. I guess, I'm just looking forward to continuing to build, continuing to level up. I feel like, every time we hit what used to be the bar, now the bar goes up, right? So now that we're in this warehouse, we're like, ooh, we need like the pallet racks. And if we get pallet
Mm,
racks, we're gonna need a forklift and just all those
yes.
things. So yeah, that goes back to, just my advice for that newbie that's just starting out. Like, there's gonna be days where you look up and you're like, oh my gosh, we have so far to go. But don't forget to look behind too and say, wow, we've been able to do all
We've
these
made
all
it.
these really cool things. So just
So
keeping that
inspiring.
gratitude.
You're like a TikTok. You're like an inspirational speaker. You're getting me all pumped up, hair standing and
Okay,
everything.
all
I
right.
love it. I love it. No, that's so good. Let me ask you this. So as we wrap up, did Lionel talk to you about are you one of the mentors that we have? Or no? Did he talk to you about
Yeah.
that?
So we kind of brainstormed about that idea. I love the idea of being a mentor. So he hasn't formally asked me to do
Okay.
that, but just know I'm on board.
You're on board. Okay. All right. So two things. If you're listening to this, wherever, TikTok, YouTube, wherever. So if you go, so we have a mentors program. If you want to talk to Kelcie and you know, you ever want to talk to me or Lionel, that's great. But like you said in the beginning, there's everybody kind of like with competition with the bounce houses, nobody's going to do it like you. And some people are going to resonate with you. So if you like what Kelcie had to say and you want to talk to her, she just said she's on board. So if her phone's ringing and she says, "Why are you calling me?" You can say, "I heard you tell Tariq to give out your information." No, we won't give out your number, but we do have a mentor program where we have select people like Kelcie who we feel align with what we teach, where we will actually put out their information, where you could actually book a call with them and talk to Kelcie here, the famous Kelcie now, Kelcie Baye from Bouncin Baye Inflatables. So if you're interested in that, two ways you could do that. You could either go to eventhawk360.com/mentors, or you can text the word mentor to our phone number, which is 708-401-6465. This again is 708-401-6465. And if you're interested in our services, EventHawk, marketing, websites, Google Ads, then you could also visit the same website, just eventhawk360.com. There's a bunch of links on there to schedule a call, or you could text the word podcast to that number. That's how we track our conversions. If people are coming from the podcast, if you text the word podcast to 708-401-6465, then we'll know you came from the podcast. And you could tell us, "I watched Kelcie's podcast." We could say, "Thank you, Kelcie. You inspired somebody." So you could do that. So I'll send you, I'll make sure we send you some information about that to get you on there. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Last question. Next 1 year from now, you're going to be watching this video. What's the next big thing? What do you want to look back and say you accomplished in 1 year?
Did it? What I love to look back and say I accomplished, and I might get in trouble for this one, but I'd love to be like, Mo quit his job.
Okay. Oh, all right. So we're not showing this
Look,
Pokemon
and,
until after he
look, and
quits.
he loves his job too. But if we could get to that point, I'd just be so excited. So he doesn't know that I'm gonna say that, but that's just what it
Okay.
is.
All right,
So
good. Now we have a goal. Kelcie, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. This has been really great, Kelcie. Looking forward to hearing that good news in a year from now when we both rewatch this. This has been really cool. Thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you again for watching the podcast. Thank you to our guest. Thank you to you guys for watching, for sharing. Don't forget, if you guys want the information and the links and resources mentioned in this episode, go ahead and comment podcast or text the word podcast to 708-401-6465. Again, that's 708-401-6465. And if you're interested in learning about EventHawk services, we'll have a link there to schedule a free demo with us. No commitment. You don't have to commit. Just schedule a time with us and subscribe to this podcast. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys want to see more of, who you guys want me to interview next. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. I'm Tariq with EventHawk. I'll see you on the next one.